Hello, everyone. Today, we will be looking over the dungeon memories of the Azathoth dungeon in the old library at Shinjuku. If you haven't already, then you really should complete chapters 1 to 9 in the main scenario quest. That is what you need in order to be caught up, because this technically is part of the main story, at least serially, in terms of how this information is drip-fed to us. But let's hop right in. So I'm just going to showcase how you can get into the dungeon from here, but I'm pretty sure like everyone here already knows how to do that. Just close this intro and exit this guild room. So go to the top right over here, the switch map button. We'll see good old Furufumi here, and then we will go to the old building at Shinjuku Academy. Hello Prisma and Inuzuka Shino, nice to see you all. Hi Ara, nice thumbnails for the dungeon streams. Thank you, thank you. I do put a lot of effort into my thumbnails, and I try to make this one distinct, especially since it's as important as the main story. Hello Azinu, welcome. So, the reason why this doesn't say new is because one day I was just super out of it from lack of content, and I pressed it by accident instead of the other dungeon. But I didn't actually see it. As you can see, I left it immediately, and we are still in Azathoth's first memory, so I don't know anything about it besides the first screen, which I don't even remember anymore, so let us hop right in. Hopefully the loading isn't too long, but I am told by Archie that this should only take... Oh wow, it's already loaded. Less than an hour. Yeah, I know it says chapters 1 to 8. I didn't change it, but I was planning to change it after the thing anyways. Besides, I don't really read the description during streams, hopefully. But yeah, it's not exactly helpful to warn everyone to read it like moments before the stream. Oh well, you know, too little too late. Alright. Hey, look at this, we're jumping right into some context directly from the main story. Allow me to show you around. That's a librarian's job after all. It can be dark inside, so be sure to watch your step. Oops. Furufumi leads you, Shiro, and the others carefully down into the library's depths. Suddenly, your field of view goes white. The dusty shelves before you are engulfed by a burst of blinding light. Finally, your vision begins to clear, but the sight before you no longer resembles the room you entered. Where are we? Jumping right into it, I see. Shiro's book has utterly lost control, and innumerable devils and tentacles spill forth from it. Is it devils or evils? Make up your mind game. Yeah! Looks like we got a bug. Better patch that shut before everything breaks. How pathetic! It's like finishing the tutorial and then getting bodied in the first level. Fine, I'll lend a hand. I hate escort missions as much as the next League Pro, but you're an exception. Never here, your hero's here. Let me show you how it's done, Arsene. The scenery around you completely vanishes, leaving you and your friends standing in nigh darkness. Not just now. Was that you, Shiro? Oh, yes, it was me. And one next to you was. What vainglorious fool seeks to enter the Beyond One? What's going on? An otherworldly voice echoes through your skull, and the page in Shiro's book begins to glow. I see. So that is the way of things. What tide of fate has washed one of the 5 Akashi Chronicles into this schoolchild's grasp? I remember your name, Shiro. It was you. You would know what lies ahead. Normally, you would be turned away, your mind broken. Nice. Fortunate you are that this particular record piques my interest. Your request is granted. Turn the pages of this dreadful chronicle. Tread once more the path that leads to these visions of destruction. Clutch tight what remains of your sanity. For now, do I cast upon first great. By the way, Azathoth actually is voiced very briefly. You can hear him in that one AR with Shiro and Yog. And I'm that's like the only time you ever hear him voiced friendly. It seems the way has opened. It leads deeper into the library. Since chapter 1, I still find Shiro and Yog hot. Wow, I guess, honestly, frankly, probably be in the minority of that. I mean, I know some people like Shiro, but I've never ever heard that they find someone would say that they'd find Azathoth particularly hot. Hey, look at this, we're passing through this like lightning. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. Oh wait, this is not for me talking. Just when I was wondering who the hell would still have guts to take on us Berserkers. It turns out to be a bookworm like you, Shiro. And you're here too, transfer student. And Oniwaka, you're on their side now, huh? You better believe it, Kengo. I was gonna show them what idiots like them deserve. But then, something strange happened. Funny how things work out, everything. Starting today, I'm going to serve you as my master. That shrimp you brought with you jogged my memory. I remembered how it felt to lose you. So now I'm sticking to you like glue. This sort of thing's bound to happen if I'm around, Arthur. Another vision? Looks like we're fighting Kenko in this one. Still, who would have thought that Oniwaka would join the Summoners? Truly, these possibilities are infinite. Is this the game's awkward way of saying, yeah, we know he probably should have joined, but he kind of just lost plot relevance? Well, the blind idiot god, the creator of the Old Ones, was long ago sealed within a cage of ignorance. Trapped in darkness, he is isolated from the joy of living. For it is from the light of the heavens that all life springs forth. And he became a single pillar supporting a decrepit world, knowing of nothing but death and endings. Are these a memory specifically of Azathoth's different loops? I thought we already saw this. I thought it'd be a lot more a widened scope in terms of the kind of memories we would be seeing in this library. That eventually became his world system. All else was destroyed, and he was left with naught to do but count shadows. What shadows, you ask? The shadows of loss, and exile, and sadness, and death. Continue on, Destined One. I cast open the second gate. These are a lot more brief than I thought they'd be. I mean, I knew they, like, how short they were from Archie's thumbnails in his archive channel, but, like, I didn't really fully realize the consequences of what would that mean for scene setting. I didn't realize, I thought it would be like one scene we'd be reviewing over and over again, piece by piece, but it's just like we're switching left and right here. Alright, we're going to the third one. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. The Aoyama missionaries are coming for us, my liege. Spotted among them was your classmate, Ryota. Know, however, that I will never leave your side. Your ideals are more than worthy of my devotion. In my defeat at your hands, I at last recalled the day long past, the day of our parting. Defeat. In the face of it, the laws of war should be followed. My rule cannot defy the blind idiot god. It is a matter of compatibility rather than power. From the moment the pain of my torture awakened his true self. All order was fated to dissolve into chaos. So it looks like we're looking at all memories, not necessarily of Azathoth's memories, but memories that had Azathoth in the scene as he interacted with everyone. Now I see. These visions we keep saying, they really happened. They're memories of past loops. If the written word is a vessel carrying memory to the end of time, then I am in an ark, forging unscathed through the flood. While dozing, His Highness must be entertained. His boredom must be placated to prevent his awakening. As Viceroy, under no circumstances must I allow His Highness to awaken. For that purpose, I am Viceroy. For that purpose, I am a gatekeeper. The explanation of why he's like, he has a rule of the gatekeeper, that was very confusing why. For that purpose alone, I possess authority over memories of the past, present, and future. Memories of the future. Now proceed, destined ones. I cast open the third gate. So, unlike in the main story where we were saying Azathoth's memory of decrepit shadows of, death and sorrow and grief and all that, in this one we are seeing the memories of Yog-Sothoth, who is watching over Azathoth as the Viceroy, the one who has to keep watch on him and prevent him from waking up. So we are going to enter the fourth memory now. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. Sweet Danjutsu! This isn't inconceivable for one such as myself to become a fugitive. Oh, how might I have fallen? No, it's fine. I'm fine. My memories are what they are. Yes, I shall hold your banner high. Not that the Hojo are gone from Tokyo. I have only you to call me my master. And I will protect you. I swear it on the Fuma name. Look at this messed up little wreck. Quiet you. At least I don't spend all my time pickling my brain on video games. I see. So not only is this memories of Azathoth, from Yog-Sothoth's point of view, it's also memories of specifically Azathoth giving everyone memories of these past loops. But no matter. It's not so bad. In fact, we got a good thing going on here. The more memories you store, the more allies you recruit, right? Wish I'd thought of that myself. So we're using Azathoth here. This was one of our seems like a previous strategy where we used Azathoth to recruit people based on past memories. Making use of all these connections you made in past loops. It's genius! Even though it turns out it failed. If you think about it, this has got to be the most effective method. Hello. It's kind of really sad hearing it now as a memory. Only being able to bring back their memories of when they died is a bit of a bummer. Wait a second. If everyone remembers the moments of their deaths, what do you think would happen to this Tokyo? We're out of time, Master. Look, The Akasaka agents are attacking. Are you ready? Pray not. You've got the leader of the Fuma Ninja tribe to protect you. Let us go meet them. So this was a previous strategy we did. So on this loop, you worked with Azathoth to restore all the memories you could. Okay, so Shiro's on the same page as me. That's good. I see. That makes sense. With the World Pillar on your side, you could get your allies from previous loops to remember your partnerships and cooperate. But, well, for anyone who was thinking, why didn't they just do that? Well, here's the reason, they already did. These memories are not but forgotten driftwood, washed up at the end of time. The shadows of the world. Normally, it would be impossible to reach them from this time and space. Impossible for all but me, Azathoth. So the carriers of the memories are specifically these exceptions. Now I'm starting to understand the role of exceptions better. They're not just people that fit outside of the rules of the game. They're also individuals or entities that fit outside of the ability for the game to wash their memories out. I thought it would be some sort of hidden tomes that contain memories, but I guess these tomes are representative of all of Azathoth's memory. So, in fact, that means it wasn't just by chance that Shiro pulled out a book from this library that happened to be Azathoth's sacred artifact. All these books seem to have significance in relation to Azathoth, at least up to a certain level. And it seems that Azathoth here is able to provide these memories of past loops now, just like a normal world pillar. So it really is no different than world pillar, except in this case they are free to read it themselves rather than experience it spoon-fed from someone who may want to manipulate them. I can open the gate to any place, anytime. All memory is within my grasp. All memories, huh? I, Azathoth, am the gate to what lies beyond the bounds of time and space. I could even pass the unbreachable walls of Tokyo if I wish it. Interesting. It is for that reason it was for that reason I was cast into the plane of Nihility. See, that's the thing they mentioned in passing several times, the plane of Nihility. And maybe I presume that was just a term for specifically for the lore of these eldritch gods, but perhaps it's a specific term in Housamo that refers to where all exceptions are placed. And it seems that Azathoth, as the gatekeeper, who is able to access anything inaccessible, is kind of like considered an exception because he can breach the walls of the game a bit too easily with his ability to even access information from outside the walls. If you fools wish to travel further, I cast open the fourth gate. We are now going to be looking at the fifth memory. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. Oh my god, it's neat! Oh, it's just Fuge and Huckman. And Stagwa, but where's Leet? This tower now belongs to me, Tsatagwa, the new leader of the Tycoons. They are... yeesh. How'd this even happen? Well, whatever. The Roppongi Guild will resolve all disputes with their gaming skills. What? These are my wordings, yeah? They are... I didn't realize they'd use these past loops for humor too. Who'd have thought it'd be like this? Even I didn't see this coming. What the fuck is this? But our hierarchy is sacred. If you decree we must use these games,
I have no choice but to obey.
You're gonna decide things over games? Looks like it's my time to shine. Prepare to be sent to Shadow Realm.
This reminds me of an old fable. That Azathoth must never be allowed to get bored. So games are the best way. Now, on the agenda. Thinking is hard. Back to hibernation I go. They are...
This is the strangest timeline yet. That's my line. So he has the role of the gatekeeper because he can look into all forms of memory as well and prevent people from waking up as a thought. Yeah, I guess I don't see him directly preventing him, but that is his role. So maybe we just don't see his unseen influence. As someone who's a gatekeeper, he would have that power to influence without really being seen.
But I think I see. If Ophion became our ally before Sasagwa, how one would come to view us as enemies?
Ophion became our ally before Sasagwa.
So perhaps she then clashed with Lucifuge. Sasagwa exploited the opportunity, and this nightmarish future was result. Ugh, this future could never happen again. I'm sure no one ever saw something like this coming.
That is pretty absurd.
This closed world of Tokyo is piled high with countless cast-off possibilities we have once lived, even the truly absurd. Perhaps some of them have preceded this. However, their outcomes all converge to a single point. Destruction. Know this, children of humanity. You'll find no hope to grasp onto outside these walls.
What? That's alarming. We are so set on breaking the walls in the previous... well, not previous, in chapter 8. But if the gatekeeper is saying there's no hope outside the walls, then...
The Black Throne my creator Azathoth reclines upon comprises the layered memories of the end of the world. Heavy enough to sink deep into the nether, yet never piled high enough to reach the ether.
Again, they use the contrast of nether versus ether here.
Nowhere in this universe is there even a spoonful of salvation to be found. How can we not scoff at this tragedy?
Spoonful of salvation.
Would you disturb these pitiful ashes only to persist in your folly? I cast open the fifth gate.
Exciting stuff. We are now going to enter the sixth memory. But yeah, it definitely seems like Yogg-Sothoth can access other memories as well from everyone because he can just go anywhere and anyone. But it seems to be he seems to be prioritizing sharing Azathoth specifically, or his memories of Azathoth. I mean, that is okay. I'm starting to get it. His role is to watch over Azathoth. It doesn't matter where Azathoth is or when. He will always be able to watch him because of his gatekeeper ability. So he's able, because of those two things, we're always seeing memories of Azathoth, and that sometimes entails Azathoth opening their memories up to a past loop of their deaths or other tragedy. Lantern saintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. But with that said, it's like Yogg-Sothoth's ability to look at memories is both unlimited and limited. Limited to wherever Azathoth is, because that's his responsibility, but unlimited in the sense that he can look at any time, anywhere. Including in these situations where we're not even present, and where Yogg-Sothoth himself is not technically present. My theory is Utopia is the counterpart to Old Ones. Instead of a world with no future, just a world only in present future from the ether. Hey, that's a pretty nifty world. Pretty nifty idea. That does ring some sense to it, although Yogg-Sothoth himself also said he was a controller of all times, present, past, and future. So it does ring a bell in terms of the ether thing, but I don't think Yogg-Sothoth is strictly restricted to just past-based stuff. With things being what they are, I don't have much choice but to reveal myself to you. Hold on, it's very important that I post this emoji. Okay, let's continue. We Wisemen aren't strong enough to engage in direct combat. We need someone to protect us. With Azathoth at your side, you have forged alliances with 3 true guilds, Azathoth. Alliances with all 3 sides? After seeing you grow so strongly so quickly, you have decided you would be ideal. Oh, sorry. Something's going on here that they has to reveal to them himself, but we are apparently have already allied with the guilds successfully, I guess, by Azathoth's help of revealing memories. We had a backup plan, creating an artificial battle zone and letting an exception loose within it. That's kind of what the Genocider said. By withdrawing into my universal atlas, I could guarantee the safety of those around me. And with an exception outside, freed from their restraints, it would become rather difficult for outsiders to interfere. So he could escape with a singular effect too. It has its merits, but... this time, given the conditions we're under, I think it would be unlikely to work. I believe we would fail to manifest an exception. Duo turns his Duolisa to gaze to Azathoth beside you. You placed your faith in the blind idiot god, even though you couldn't even hold a conversation with him. You awoke everyone you could to the ends they experienced in previous loops. I've decided to stay close to you to observe how that will turn out, and to learn what I can of the meaning of Azathoth's avatar, his ego, cut from the rest of the system. I can't speak for the other pillars, but I, at least, am yet to witness it with my own eyes. This will put all of my plans to the test, and once I am sure that none of them will lead to a brighter future, I will have no choice but to accept my own limitations and return to my place of birth. So, return to the east. No, or maybe that's exactly. It seems my brother has taken notice. He seems quite upset that this conversation has proceeded without him. Why do you do me the favor and calm him down? As an ally, I believe in your strength. How dare you have such a pleasant conversation with my brother? Ah, yeah, that does sound like something you would say. Shiro stares silently at the scene before him. All memories of life are woven of light, given form in ether, and drawn to the darkness of the nether. See, ether and nether have been largely kind of nebulous subjects, but this might be the most tangible way that they've described it so far in the game, saying that what makes up memories is ether, and where they go to when they're lost is the nether.
That light is no simple recording. It is faith itself. In this world, truth without subjectivity is meaningless. The only thing of import is what you believe in.
That is extremely true in this world of Housamo.
That itself gives birth to bonds. That is the essence of what brought you here to me. We old ones placed great faith in an ent named Azathoth. That faith led us on a straight path toward our own destruction. Now that you know this, will you repeat what we have done?
Is he changing sprites? I can't tell.
Or will you insist there was meaning in the destruction of my homeworld, that a future yet lies ahead of us? If you would seek meaning in this endless destruction, I cast open the 6th gate.
Okay. I was a bit worried of how short it was before, but I'm starting to get the feel of these stories. They're pretty cool, actually. Yoga's flickering? Maybe it's because of my Wi-Fi cast again. Yog's Thoughts Memory. The 7th one. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure.
You know, I'd say this was inevitable. What did you think would happen if you kept spreading memories of death and destruction willy-nilly? We have clear memories of experiencing our ends, yet we are still here, living through that same time. Considering both of those together, the natural conclusion is that this world is trapped in a loop.
With blood dripping from his wounds, Lay parts the blinds with a finger and peeks out at the riot raging outside his laboratory.
This is the result. What a pain in the rump. I suppose there aren't many who could continue to trust their friends, after learning they'd kill each other over a mouthful of food once things gets bad. Oh, I'm not trying to blame you or anything. If you haven't done what you did, you would have been done for a long time ago. Everyone uses the strengths they were born with to live the best they can. No one can deny them that. However, not everyone wants to remember these things. Some among them will resent you for it. And you still don't abandon Azathoth. I get it. That's just not who you are. My memories are very clear on that.
Yeah, you tell him. I mean, I'm not gonna be the one that remembers any of that.
If that's the case, he must do something about this game. Assuming that there is indeed someone pulling the strings in this loop Tokyo, what are they hoping to achieve? That's...
Someone pulling the strings. I mean, the biggest suspect is obviously the game masters, although maybe someone in the three true guilds, especially among the circle of the three geniuses, knows something more. Also, it seems that this loop, everything we've seen so far is from a single loop, and it's coming to an end because of a catastrophe that happened in relation to us revealing everyone's death memories. Specifically, it looks like there's rioting. The laboratory's emergency shutters start to creak. It's only a matter of time before it's breached.
You should head to Kabukicho. You'll find another world pillar there.
I wonder who.
They're incomplete like Azathoth, but between the two of them, maybe you'll learn something useful.
Thank you, Labe.
I'll clear the way for you, and then I'll make myself scarce. Really, I'm not in the mood for a heroic sacrifice. I really hate working.
Labe stands before you, wrapped in someone's scarf. Labe confirmed.
So even in this loop, it all ended in violence. It seems like things will descend into chaos, even without everyone becoming able to use their sacred artifacts.
I wonder why he says that. It's not like we weren't able to use it. Did they stop our ability to use sacred artifacts? I didn't see that.
Just reminding them of their deaths in previous loops would be enough. The nature of my creator, Azathoth, is that of a shapeless shadow, that will lead the world into the darkness of ignorance.
What about loops? He's saying that the loop we were witnessing also ended in destruction of everything. And we're not even done seeing this timeline yet.
To know him is to know that this world has no value.
Oh, I see. He's kind of like fading out then in.
All and everything will collapse into madness. Azathoth knows this better than anyone.
And so he collects the end of light and layers it upon himself like lacquer. This is really interesting. I can see the advantage of using someone like Yolks of Thought as a source of memories. And it's cool that we also got to know his personality too, so I don't feel as bad as of using him like this. But like with every single other world pillar, all they remember is their own personal memories. Like, and it's the same for Yolks of Thoughts, except he has the extreme advantage of essentially being all his memories not being bound to where he is physically present. He has eyes in all of Tokyo wherever he wants it to be at that whenever he is in present. So that is kind of insane. And, you know, theoretically, he should be able to see anywhere at any time as well, since he has control over time.
So he collects the end of light and layers it upon himself like lacquer. The true Azathoth resides in isolation, in darkness so deep, others can perceive it only as insanity. Even I, Yog-Sothoth, the Beyond One, cannot follow him on that solitary journey. For I am merely a fragment, one half of a separated rule.
Just a fragment, huh? In chapter 7, I think we learned about his bonds with Azathoth. I can't remember the details of it, but he was sad about it for some reason. I guess just sad that his entire world ended, and he placed his faith on his father, and there was nothing else he really could have done. But I'm like extreme paraphrasing here because I really honestly can't remember.
If life is woven out of light, then I am but a lingering afterglow. However, if you still seek my silver key, I cast open the 7th gate.
Alright, on to the 8th memory. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. I wonder who this world pillar we're meeting is. Azathoth cackles like a broken toy as his throne emits a black light. Yoga wants appreciation of Azathoth, and Nyarlathotep both can get it from him. Tragic. Yeah, I remember them both lamenting their relationship with their father to some degree. Like, I remember Nyarlathotep, and of course I remember Yog crying, but... There was no resolution there, it was just, please remember me or something like that, because in the end, we are only looking at a memory of Yog, not himself like right now. Although Yog himself is right now is saying he's just a fragment too.
What are you laughing at, you damn brat? Stop bullshitting me. Don't you get that this mayhem is all your fault? Hey, King of Night. Are you sure taking out the kid won't fix this mess?
Tetsuya points a sacred artifact threateningly at Azathoth.
No, Tetsuya. It is already too late. I'm afraid the dam has already burst. Furthermore, remember what I said? That you should not use your rule needlessly.
it could have some, how should I put this, exceptionally unfortunate repercussions. Is there something about his role that's exceptionally good?
But,
well, that could be interesting in and of itself. The world presumably desires an exception to appear. Or rather, the organizers of the game have no interest in loops that fail to produce exceptions. Huh. The game masters want to observe the existence of exceptions? Weren't they the ones that specifically excluded them, though?
I don't get what you're saying.
I think I'm better off putting down what weirdos say as a bunch of bunk. But you have no choice to follow me, Tetsuya. You are so adorable, truly. My apologies for challenging you to battle. You must have been very surprised to come seeking help, only to be attacked. But I'm afraid some formalities must be adhered for the sake of common order. I am the face of Kabukicho, after all. However, I must apologize for wasting your and Lieb's old school translation. Lieb's time. I'm afraid I can be of no help to you. Don't look at me like that. Professional courtesy will oblige me to comfort you. It is no one's fault. You did nothing wrong. You are only trying your best to survive. Oh no, this is so sad. The truth is coming in hard on this, the realization that this loop is about to end. The denial in it. That child is a system made to continuously show others their ends. Things have ended this way because that is how this game is made. Nothing more or less. Strictly speaking, memory itself is limited in scope. However, its influence is great, and its rate of infection even greater. The creators of this game must have been a particularly sadistic disposition. Even if memories of the end are shown to but a few, the effect will spread like wildfire. If those around believe this world will end, this influence will spread to even those without the memory. Oh boy. So we caused a kind of apocalypse event in terms of everyone panicking and rioting as a result. Even those that we didn't show, that's kind of super fucked up. And when the majority of those within the walls believe it, this Tokyo will come to an end by common consensus. Holy shit, no! So it does need to be kept a secret. There's a reason for, like, there's not just like a selfish reason, but there's a legitimate reason for not sharing the knowledge of past loops to everyone. Because that in itself will cause the end of the world. Holy shit. Or at least the end of the loop. And they will lose faith in this world and wish only to once again live out their days of blissful ignorance. Oh no, they would actually force the loop to be reset. Jesus Christ. There's a lot more fucked up than I thought it'd be. But man, the writers of this game really thought of a lot. Now that you know all this, shall we talk about the future? Probably doesn't even mean this loop. The future? You see there's a way out of this dead end? No. I'm afraid our goose is cooked. I'd much rather talk about what will come afterward. Tsukiyomi's in the know. And are they saying Tsukiyomi's a world pillar? Quite possibly, I guess. He does have our sword, and that was never fully explained. Have you ever thought about why this child is separate from his body? As he speaks, Tsukiyomi peers at the sleeping Azathoth lazily sprawled in his throne. That is a safety measure to protect his system. He split himself up into his real self and another, free to wander, in order to reconcile the world and the individual. I see. So it's a compromise between him wanting to be like an individual that's still alive and keeping the world alive too. In other words, in order not to cause any contradictions. There is one single principle that lies at the heart of this world. It is seen in the separation of Azathoth's mind from his body, the separation of shadows from their original selves. That's his mind from his body. Separation of shadows from their original selves. Splitting of mythology. and of individualhood, and even in the separation of the exiles from the world. Separation is also a very important theme in this game, huh? It's like our main weapon's ability is to rend things, split things, and before it was just like, yeah, we can slice stuff, but you know, it seems like it's slicing things in every sense, but metaphorically, spiritually, in like temporally, historically, it's kind of wild. This game has tirelessly excised exceptions in order to ensure that the system known as Tokyo can operate without contradiction. I see. So what you truly want, your true goal, has become obscured. So there's trimming out happening as we speak, with the exceptions themselves being cut away from the rest of the functioning world of Tokyo. Let that be your starting point. You should reconsider everything you know from that perspective. Think very hard about what this world truly desires, and what it is that Azathoth really wants. And then, perhaps, a path will finally open to a brighter future beyond this coming sorrow. Path will finally open to a brighter future beyond this coming sorrow. Sorry that I can only speak in riddles. However, these are the only words that I, one who can only leave joy, am able to give you. The true goal of this all, what Azathoth actually wants. What is it? Now that we know that our true goal is being obscured by the handling of exceptions being cut off from the rest of the Tokyo, what should we be really focusing on, I wonder? Alas, it seems that the enemy is at our doorstep. There is no escaping the chaos, it seems. Tsukiyomi's broken pillar seems to record a type of positive memory, only like Wakon and his guildmates. Tetsuya and Suzuka are annoyed how strategically worthless they are. I think they mentioned that in passing, but this is the first time they mentioned that what kind of memories he holds. Actually, it's the first time they mentioned he can hold memories at all, I'm pretty sure. Or at least the first time I can point out it has been significant in being pointed out. But they seem a little too prepared. No. They must already know the building's layout. I suppose there's nothing for it. We'll buy you some time to think. If they know the layout already, maybe there's a mole in there, or maybe someone betrayed us. The Outlaws. Why would I go so far to save someone I've just met, you ask? Well, why indeed? Because it is my duty to guide you down the path to the end, and because I wish to see what lies beyond the end of that path. If you meet my little brother one day, please take care of him. My shining light. My adorable, beloved little brother. Holy shit, that was a lot of information! The truth is being obscured to us. What exactly do we need to do then?
Exception separated from Tokyo. Shadows cut off from the world.
Just like every single other exception we have, like with Durga, for example, being cut off from Parvati, and Dagon from Titan. Shiro gazes deep into your eyes.
Nothing within time and space lies beyond the reach of my rule. However, what stands before you is but a fragment of myself. My rule has been stripped from me.
So there is limitations to how much we can see here, and hence why Yog-Sothoth isn't enough as a source of valuable cross-loop information. In other words, there is a reason for us to be seeing the other exceptions later on. Knowing the events of Chapter 10, of how he caused an imbalance of power between the three true guilds, maybe there's something within this dungeon here that gave us the insight to make that plan.
I acknowledge that I am an unwelcome outsider in no way unnecessary to the existence the world of this Tokyo has become. And that I, Yog-Sothoth, have not the rule to physically interfere with the shards of the silver keys.
So the catch is that he cannot personally interfere. The shards of the silver keys.
However, memories and the faith born from them are beyond the realm of control through rule.
So in a way, the memories and the fates they create are stronger than the god powers were given from these secret artifacts and their rules.
And so, I will grant your wish to show these fools these memories. Why, you ask? Why am I, Yog-Sothoth, the Beyond One, deigning to explain so carefully that which far eludes your understanding?
The fragment of Yog-Sothoth peers into your eyes and finds something in their depths.
Ah, I see. That is the way of it. So, fool, you kept the seed of Azathoth asleep deep within yourself. Had I not been all-knowing as I am, it would surely have escaped my notice. If that is truly the king's seed, then Azathoth would call you his child, even in spite of your age. And I would far better call you sibling.
His seed? I wonder what he means by that. Did Azathoth leave us anything behind? He didn't even have a secret artifact beyond. That's acquired by the rest of the rulemakers. Yog-Sothoth turns his eyes to Shiro, standing next to you, a bug secret artifact in hand.
And if this bearer of the grimoire would gather the shards of my silver keys. Very well, continue on. I cast open the 8th gate.
Very, very interesting. I wonder what kind of memories we'll be able to see that Yog-Sothoth wasn't from Thor's and the Fisher Kings. Yog-Sothoth's 9th memory. But whatever the revelation the summoners came up with in terms of what exactly the truth is being obfuscated in relation to the exceptions being cut out, it seems they came up with a decision that led to them in this current loop to surrender themselves to the warmongers and give that imbalance among the three guilds. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. Yes, I'm still here. But I'm not saying anything, don't worry.
Yo! Azathoth! How's that hanging, my dear delirious Damon Sultan? Still seeing it all and nothing? Still trying to remember how to die?
The violence has brought Tokyo to the brink of collapse, and from the midst of the chaos appears Nyarlathotep. If that's how this loop ended, in terms of a mass change in belief to the majority of everyone wanting to reset, is that how every loop ends? In terms of everyone trying, like, a mass belief system in all of Tokyo? Because when we saw the memories of our death, that didn't necessarily entail the resetting of that loop. And I always wondered what would cause the loops to reset. But if that's the reason, that's interesting. At least in this loop, the reason for the reset was because everyone changed faith to want to go back to the days of ignorance. The effects of those memories of the previous loops have spread like ripples over a sea of unrest. The avalanche of awareness and belief in loops can no longer be stopped. I am so glad I was not spoiled for this. This is so cool. I leveled you all up. How can you do this?
Whoa! Hands up! Raise the roof! The danger here keeps ramping up. Ooh.
Countless Nyarlathoteps parry the riders attacking you and Azathoth. However, Azathoth isn't laughing. Oh, never mind. Azathoth isn't laughing as brazenly as he usually does. Like a baby who has picked up something shining, his gaze is fixed on the destruction of the city. I guess this is him remembering it for next time.
Time ticks away. Little grains of sand. So many firsts. Gone in just a blink. Oh, poor little human. Made of endings upon endings. How's that going for ya? Light speed? Warp speed? Here we go! What kind of first could ease my king's boredom? Boredom, snortum, endless boredom. The first end of the world? Let's get it on! We love you 1,000, my dear demon sultan.
Nyarlathotep dances like a jester as Tokyo burns behind him.
Phew, our king sits on a throne made of memories and dreams. With the whole world in his head, it's bursting at the seams. We can't wake Azathoth, or can we? We can't show the world a dream, or can we? 2 in 1, both the same, 2 sides of one coin. Everyone's world in Azathoth's dream. Everyone's dream is Azathoth's world. What madness, but the opposite of sanity. Which came first, and which came after? Is it all just a hitch, niche, a glitch? In that case, we got it! Give it up for the 2 in 1! It's been a while since my mind's been so clear.
As madness rules the streets of Tokyo and this world tumbles towards the end of this loop, the light of sanity shines in Azathoth's eyes. Does he always approach sanity whenever the world is ending? Oh, that's fucked up and really sad. But that is his strongest point, I guess. Or that is where he resides normally. Always stuck in that darkness, as they say, beyond even Yog-Sothoth.
This must be one of the ways of triggering a loop.
So Shiro picked up on it too.
When enough Tokyoites become cognizant of loops and the way those loops have ended,
And he's also pointing out that's only one of the ways.
and the way those loops have ended, our world will crumble without the self-proclaimed world representatives lifting a finger.
That's fucked up. We really are so concerned about. I was so concerned about the world representatives being such a cataclysmic threat and existential threat. But it's not the only threat in the system. The system itself seems to be weaponized, even without the world representatives. That is so. I don't know. I love the writing in this game.
And once the majority of the walls believes in loops, they all become the truth. The representatives of paradise is the one who represents the collective will of the closed-off world. The world is the dream of Azathoth, and the world is a reality determined by the expectations of the majority. The twain are opposite. No, I skipped. The twain are opposite and yet equal.
So the world versus Azathoth. His dream versus reality.
So when Azathoth awakens, the world will fall into madness. That is to say, when the world falls into madness, Azathoth will awaken.
So when everyone loses their mind, Azathoth becomes cognizant, and he will awaken. And that was what caused the end?
A simple truth for a simple wordplay. Only. In the world of the old ones, so long since ended, Azathoth has not been of sound mind for eons.
The city is so fragile, almost on the verge of failing in a bunch of ways. Yeah, it's almost like that one space paradox, the Fermi paradox. I think I forgot if that's the paradox or not, but essentially the paradox of why we're the only surviving society, even though we look out in space and there's so many different habitable planets. And one of the solutions to it is that stuff self-destruction is kind of like an inevitability that you can't avoid. And in this situation, it seems that even though you choose different actions, it's still something we are ending up in. Azathoth becomes sane when we all insane. Azathoth wakes up when we come all insane. That's one and the same, apparently.
After endless reliving of the same ending, his interest has long waned. If he were to return once more to sanity, I, Yogsu-Thoth, would see it with my own eyes.
Did he wake up in that loop?
I cast open the 9th gate.
That's what's being wrongly implied here. It wasn't, I mean, it was the impetus with everyone changing the loops and then coming to the belief of loops coming, the common faith becoming that loops actually exist and that the end of the world is nigh. So, was it that belief system that pushed Azathoth to actually cause the end of the world himself? In that way, you can't really say if it was Azathoth that ended the world or the faith system. It could have been both in that way, but all shall be revealed in this 10th memory. Hopefully, but we'll see. Ah yes, I'm still here. Lanterns faintly light your surroundings, revealing a familiar figure. Yes, I'll speak one day, don't worry about it. Just not now.
Jeez. This world's really screwed no matter what, huh? Ending and beginning, and beginning and ending again.
Azathoth stares out over the crumbling Tokyo, as if to burn the scene into his mind, as is his responsibility.
It's like a dream.
The violence swells, the city burns, and amidst all, Azathoth clutches his stomach as he roars with laughter.
Check it out! You managed to end the game before the Otherworld reps even showed up. Oh, it's so perfect. I should frame it.
Oh no, this is the worst ending. It's my fault now. That actually makes me feel worse. It wasn't someone else's fault, it was my fault.
You know, you and me, we were doomed to a bad end from the start. But you knew that all along, right? So many must have warned you. You're really...
Azathoth grasps your face in his childlike hands and stares deeply into your eyes.
You're really hopeless. A real idiot, aren't you?
With his eyes gleaming with a spark of reason, Azathoth laughs so fiercely you can't tell if he's crying.
Oh, you're a real one. I really love that about you, Arthur. Had you just given up on me without hesitation, you would have been able to have yourself a more appropriate end, you know.
Now that the world has gone mad, majority consensus has turned Azathoth's insanity to sanity.
You're a real villain, you know that. You're the big bad who ended the world. That's so fucked up.
There's us killing our friends and us being killed by our friends, and then there's us ending the world. That is so fucked up. Holy shit. Oh my god. I become sane when we're all insane. Oh my god. That's so fucked up. I love it.
That's what they'll call you now. That's what they'll say. So you need someone like me to play devil's advocate, right?
Is this where we'll see the memory of Shiro as through Azathoth's eyes? So you need someone like me to play devil's advocate. Oh no, Azathoth, what happened? This wasn't supposed to happen. No.
If a kid like you can break this world by themselves, it's probably didn't have a long left in the tank anyways. Everything you call the world is just a tiny fragment of a dream. This wall that cuts you off from the outside world is just something you've imagined for yourselves. What? If I said that's all there is to it, would you believe me?
Now they're really throwing in the question into the goal we originally had of destroying the wall. before they just mentioned there was nothing before, and now Azathoth is saying that the wall itself was just kind of something we imagined. What is even going on? Maybe, I mean, in a sense it is, because the walls themselves aren't even a threat unless we have the faith to believe that it can't be penetrated.
That's some crazy BS, you idiot! You're so gullible!
Azathoth cackles as loudly as he ever has.
Oh, take heart, Hero. This'll never happen again, you know. You'll never have to repeat the Azathoth route. You know that, right?
Oh my god, we gave it a go, and this is actually so fucked up. I did not, this is so sad.
There's nothing left for me but endings. That's all I can remember. I've got no interest in seeing the same endings all the time. I don't want to just do the same things over and over. So I'll just let you in on something good. Just this once. It's a secret that only I, the one who's seen the end of the world time and time again, can tell you. So listen up. Listen up. Your sense of righteousness ain't worth the paper it's written on.
What? This gotta erase what I remember from chapter 10 and 11, because that was when we initially saw the three true guilds as bad guys, but maybe now we're changing our perspectives on that.
If you feel like this world's at a standstill, you've gotta start walking the paths no one's walked before. The ones that go beyond good and evil.
Beyond good and evil.
That's what you're thinking too, eh, young so. You. Yes, you. The one that sealed the way without a care. Why? Oh, you. You're watching this, aren't you? My comrade in arms. Watch out for my bro, yeah. The sound of the reed flute is fading. My dream is bursting and overflowing.
And Azathoth wakes, and the world ceases to be. See, I thought that was all just lore and talk of something that would never happen, but it actually happened. That's so fucked up. No. Oh my god.
Whoa. What's going on?
The piece of Yog-Sothoth's memory that you carry starts to glow.
Cause and effect, resonating even across the great flood of time. Though my rule is stripped from my rule, my grasp yet extends to the realm of memory. Fools, do you desire the gate to all this world's memories? If so, I, Yog-Sothoth, shall become your silver key.
The shard actually being useful, except not really, because it's like we don't even need the shard for the next two dungeons.
Now do I cast open the ultimate gate.
The ultimate gate. What could that be? Okay, so I thought there was gonna be 10, but I'm presuming there's gonna be one more after this. Wait, what? That's it? That's it? That's it? That's it? What's the explanation? Is that it? Archie, you gotta tell me. Is that it? The fuck? Was that it? It just sounded like that! What was that? Also, yeah, that's the end. It ends on that for some reason, I guess, as a continuation to chapter 10. Okay, so... Okay. So... We never ended up seeing how they ended up figuring out the plot to go give an imbalance to the three true guilds. But they did leave a strong hint behind. Sorry, final thoughts. Yes, I'm doing my final thoughts now. But yeah. Okay, final thoughts. It ended up abruptly. That was really cool. There was one silly moment, which is nice to show that it wasn't all just the end of the world. But that was super fucked up. The end of the world actually happening, not because of anyone, but because of us. We caused the end of the world through Azathoth and our plan just to survive. And really, we're a build there. I mean, we didn't see Shiro's memory, which is what I half expected, but that was still fucked up nonetheless. Yes, a cliffhanger for Chapter 10 to the future. So if we're talking from Chapters 9 perspectives, that was when the Warmongers first attacked Crafters, and we learned about Double Dragon. We first learned about our first plan against the Warmongers only in Chapter 10 though. I forget what exactly we were doing in the Crafters in the first place in Chapter 9, but I don't know, who knows. Oh yeah, I think we were asking about the sacred artifacts from the Genociders, although that plotline never really went anywhere. We've been sitting on this for 3 years, I see. But yeah. Thoughts on overall now? We learned now that we are being lied to and obfuscated of the truth. We are being forced to... we need to reconsider now that the world representatives aren't necessarily the enemy. They aren't necessarily the ones that will cause the world. They're just, an organized group that have their own motivations to participate in the loop in their own way. But the causing of loops isn't necessarily entailed just by them. It's also caused. It can be caused by anything, as we can see, including us, including like Azathoth literally ending the world. I never thought he'd actually do that. I thought that was just like a lore bit. Oh yeah, if he wakes up, the world ends. It literally did. It just ended. Holy shit, that's so fucked up. Oh my god, my face. I was like, what even happened? What happened? But yeah, we gotta stop seeing things as good and evil, as Azathoth said. We gotta reconsider our moral system in terms of what we see as the right thing to do. We gotta tread the untrodden paths and actually, do something new that isn't just, the guild master's bad, or the three true guilds bad, us good, ending the loop good. Or we're also throwing into consideration of just like escaping the walls, trying to go beyond, breaking the walls might not even be the best thing to do, because we're learning that the walls themselves aren't even really an issue besides us making it to be an issue because of our imagination, and also that there might not even be anything of import beyond the walls, according to Yog-Sothoth. So I don't know. I thought that would be like a big plot twist of what was behind the walls, but apparently, according to this, the problem is with us and our approach to things. Also, it's best to take this into context when it came out, because this took place before we actually confronted Warmongers or any of the street cults. Yes, I am handling it from that perspective. It's just maybe that's why we took that approach. We stopped seeing the three true guilds as enemies, and I'm not sure how that logically entails the rest of the plan, but it seems like our plan still is kind of ongoing anyways. So maybe we just don't know the full plan yet. It was to cause the imbalance, and then it did, and then the warmongers retaliated with their attempt to end the world, but that failed. So in the end, our objective, like disrupting it, kind of happened, but it's not necessary to destroy them from within. It is really just to do something different, as I said. At least that's the most we know about the plan anyways. And definitely trying to... I think maybe they did mention it in passing, but this must have been the first time in Chapter 10 that they decided that there was an imbalance between the three true guilds, giving one an overwhelming advantage. That was how they caused... they went out of their way to do something that hasn't been done before. So that is... Oof. Because, like, even though in every loop, even though we try different things, ultimately it's largely the same in terms of trying to end a loop, trying to see who's bad, and overcoming them and uphold our sense of just trying to survive and be good. But in this one, we're endangering ourselves. We're not seeing them as bad guys, but we're just trying to give one of them more of an advantage. And across all the loops, the three true guilds have been in relative peace with each other. So this is the first time where it was like they've been like imbalanced with each other. And I think in that sense, even though we barely know anything else about their plan, that's a very effective strategy in doing what Azathoth recommended, in doing something that just hasn't been done before. Tsukuyomi said that with changing the approach again in Chapter 10. Yeah, Tsukuyomi did say a lot in Chapter 11, I remember, but I couldn't really remember too much what he said in Chapter 10. He was kind of just there and then he got caught. But yeah, it's been a while, and this context would have helped for sure. Holy shit. But yeah, this is pretty much answers the what if question of why not just tell everyone about the loops we have over. Surely nothing could go wrong, except the end of the world, apparently, that we caused. It was literally the worst ending. It was like, you can blame anyone else for anyone else, but we there's like killing your friend, and then there's like killing the entire world. Holy shit. It's like if anyone plays Final Fantasy and has gone into Shadowbringers, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's like that one moment. Oh my god. Okay. I thought it'd be a bit underwhelmed based on how short it was, but holy shit, that was a crap load to take in within that 1 hour. Holy shit. Well done, LifeWonders. Well done, LifeWonders. That was great. Even though the translation of this was long overdue, well done. I still appreciated how strong the narrative impact of this was, and the importance of it was too. MC does an oopsie, yeah. But yeah. I'm very excited to see the rest of the dungeons now. I'm just gonna end this stream soon. So just to reiterate, tomorrow I'm gonna be doing the Aoyama dungeons memories next. You will need to finish chapter 10 to do it yourself, and you even if you haven't finished it and you're watching this, you should read it because again, as you can see, it's serially connected. I mean, it wasn't as seriously connected as it could be, but that was just like, holy shit, that was cool. It was very enjoyable. Holy shit. Like, if you didn't know this, and you don't, also Furufubi standing there not saying anything was kind of funny the entire time. But yeah, knowing the context of how they even reached that situation, how they're talking to them, how Furufubi's are, how they found that library, that was important in chapter 9, or at least it was revealed in chapter 9 anyways. Yes, I'm gonna do the next one tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. EST. Dungeon stories improve each time by Ara. I hope so, but no spoilers, I'm assuming that's the case, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you for all joining me today. That was quite the ride. Also, we 1 hour stream. The others are gonna get longer. I mean, I decided intentionally that I would not, I would really mince my words and voice acting because I thought it'd be longer anyways. And, you know, it's main story. I want to actually understand it. I don't want to say it in passing, like events, trying to get it done in a certain time. I want to understand the story. That was so fucked up. And I remember all the things. It was like, the end, there's nothing behind the walls that's of our concern, and we need to think bigger than what's good or bad, and we need to do something different. I remember all those important points and how it ends up connecting, and that's because I took my time. Anyways, considering this was the shortest, but, you know, even if it was just 1 hour, it's still not that much longer based on the running length. I'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I will see those who are joining me tomorrow then. Look forward to the story, because holy shit, that was amazing. Read chapter 10 though, and I'll see you then. Goodbye everyone, and have a good day.